Hello and welcome to CGE Q&A Wednesdays. I am Sakina Bunch, your holistic relationship health and wellness coach here at CGE Clean Good Eats, where we believe in bringing the family back to the table by restoring healthy relationships with food, others, and self. I'm so glad that you are here today. We are going to be talking about depression, but before we get to that, because we're really going to dig into that deep on a webinar that we're doing this evening, and I'll try to post that information for you for the webinar, but I really just wanted to share some things that have been in the news, some things that we're doing here at CGE with you. So the first thing is, I don't know if y'all saw, I posted it today, and it was about how hot dog buns are now a choking hazard. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I kind of looked into that and I'm like, well, okay, well, hot dogs have always been a choking hazard for kids. So why is it now that these buns are a hazard? Well, if you read a little bit further into the, hey Lisa, how you doing? If you read a little bit further into the article, it says that they have found plastic, y'all, plastic in the burger buns. So I quickly had to look and scan and see which stores were selling these plastic buns. I'm just glad, I'm not going to bash any other store, okay? But I am going to say that I'm so glad that Costco was not on that list, okay? Now, there were some others that were on that list. In fact, there were quite a few others that were on that list, but Costco, thank God, was not on that list. So please, y'all be careful about the burger buns. Check my Clean Good Eats with Sakina B page. You can check my personal page, but look for that link so this way you can see which stores and which items have been affected. All right, so then the second thing that I want to share with you, I'm so excited, so excited. Okay, so y'all know that we are going to Dallas, right? And we are going to be speaking at the Cowboys Stadium, right? So we're doing a conference there. Well, I'm so excited because I have been working on something for the past 3 years. Now, CGE is going to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary, August 19th of this year, right? August 19th, 2 years. But I had actually been working on something for 3 years. It is, well, I'm just going to show it to you. Hold on. Okay, so, oh, hold on so much. I can't even like get it up here. Okay, so right here, can you see? Oh, I'm always bad like with the camera and back and forth. Okay, so right here, we're working on our CGE signature collection. So I want to share with you some of the things that are in here, right? So we have our body butters. Now these body butters, I've been testing them out for the past 3 years because I'm not going to just give you something like right off the shelf that I just made, right? So I've been testing these out for 3 years and they have been met with phenomenal reviews. I had a lady tell me that she had, a little bit of ash on her foot and that she couldn't get rid of it. She's had it as long as she could remember and she could not get rid of it. Well, I gave her one of my body butters. In fact, I want to say the one that I gave her was Vibrant Glow. That's this one right here, and if you can see it. Vibrant Glow. And she contacted me back and she was like, I don't know what's in that stuff. She's like, I don't know what combination you put together, but I need more of that because it took away the ash. Then my daughter, she suffers dearly with eczema. And so we have been trying a few things out with her with eczema, and we were able to curb her eczema with these body butters. So I'm not saying that they are medicinal. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you the reviews that we've gotten back from these body butters. They are all natural. They're made from organic items such as like shea butter and beeswax, and we even have a vegan version. And they're made with essential oils. Now, y'all know the essential oils that we use are pure grade essential oils where they have been known to have medicinal properties. Like lavender, that calms me like nobody's business, okay? And it is, like when you put it on, the smell alone helps you just kind of calm down. Our favorite and highest selling so far, because we have been selling some of these. Let's see, which one is this? Oh, not this one. It is, well, that's probably the second one. Oh my goodness, what do I have here? I don't even have it in here, my goodness. It is our lemongrass one. And our lemongrass one comes in, you know, the various sizes. So this is our 4 ounce, okay? And then we have our 2 ounce. But I'm gonna tell you, a little bit goes a very long way. But we have these signature collection boxes. They're going to be, you ready? You ready? On subscription only. The only way you can get them is on subscription. And we have 3 different luxury levels for your lifestyle. Now, we have the starter pack, okay? And in the starter pack, you get, you know, your full size. I don't even remember. I'm not even gonna lie to you what we have in the starter pack. I just know the starter pack is good. But then we also have extra goodies. So we have products of the month that we formulate, put together, and put in your box that only you get. Okay, so that's not available to the general public. That is only by subscription. But there is like I call it the Cadillac of subscriptions, right? That's when you love to indulge yourself and you want to have some serious self-care. Well, we sell our 4 ounces and we sell our 2 ounces, but we don't sell these. These are our 8 ounces, okay? Look at that. Monstrous. We don't sell our 8 ounces. That is specifically for our signature boxes for friends and family. And so the reason we put it in there is because you can use this for your friends and for your family. So, and then we have, you know, extras in there too that you can share, you know, if you want to share. So that is going to debut in Dallas, okay? But I want you to stay tuned, because if you want to pre-order yours, no, I got you. We're gonna be setting. I can speak. We're going to be setting up, yes, the pre-orders by the end of the week. So yay for that. Next, okay, I think I covered those 2. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about depression. It's like, how do you go from something so exciting to something so? Well, I'll tell you how you go from to. It's when you have experienced it and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you did not like it when you went through it. 1 out of 5 Americans deal with depression. 1 out of 5. You know, that's almost as bad as the statistic for when you're sitting in college and they tell you, you know, look to your left, look to your right. One of those people are not going to be there, and it might be you, you know. So yeah, or that's not what we want. So I'm sharing this information with you because there are so many people going through this. 350 million people deal with this every stinking year. 350 million. And I'll share some other staggering statistics tonight on the webinar. Oh, it would help if I kind of gave you the link to the webinar, right? So let's see. That should give you the link to the webinar, hopefully. That will pop up there in the chat. So you can look in the comment section and you can see the link for the webinar this evening. But I'm just going to give you kind of an overview. So first, let's define. You know me, I'm always about defining the terms. We must define our terms. So depression is the response of the sympathetic nervous system to a stressful event, preparing the body to fight or flee. It's associated with the adrenal secretion of epinephrine and characterized by increased heart rate, increased blood flow to the brain and muscles, raised sugar levels, sweaty palms and soles, dilated pupils, and erect hairs. Now that is dictionary.com's definition of depression. You ask someone who is living with depression, dying with depression, their definition might be a little different. Their definition might be, I feel like I'm living in someone else's body and I have no control over what happens day to day. Their definition might be, I feel like I'm dying every single day with no relief. Their definition could be very different than what dictionary.com comes up with. But whatever your definition, their definition, we know that depression is something that is serious. So we can talk about some of the things that cause depression, right? So one of the things, if you are working Monday through Friday in a job you do not absolutely love, that can be the spark of your depression. You have a death of a loved one. Tonight, I will be sharing my personal story with depression. It is a doozy, and I know that everybody has their ups and their downs. So we're not talking about ups and downs. We're talking about when you are in that valley and you can't even see the light to get out. That's deep. Depression can also be caused by comparisons on social media. I cannot tell you how many people say to me, "Oh, Sakina, your life is so perfect. You're married and your kids are awesome and blah, 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 blah," right? Y'all don't be fooled, okay? Everybody got crazy. Everybody has crazy. So what you may see on social media, understand, okay, there's a whole life that goes on outside of social media. I don't post everything because I'm not about posting all my dirty laundry. Just like I don't post all the great things that happen either on social media. You get like that happy medium, okay? Understand, you cannot compare your insides with somebody else's outsides. You just can't do it, because that will spark feelings of sadness and depression. Personal relationships and loneliness. If you are in a relationship that is abusive, one that is not encouraging, and when I say abusive, it doesn't just mean physically abusive. It could be emotionally, mentally abusive, spiritually abusive. If your spouse is always depressed, always down, that takes its toll on you as well. We are a product of the environment in which we live. If you lack coping skills, I cannot, I think about when I was growing up and then kids today. My mother would not even dream of doing half the things that these parents do for their children today. Okay? Now I get it. You want your kid to have something better than you had. I get that. Okay? Because as parents, we should want that. But if you're doing every single thing for your kid and you are not allowing your kid to fail in anything, the moment they hit the bricks and get out there in the real world, they have no coping skills. Okay? It's okay to get your feelings hurt every once in a while, because guess what? That's what's going to happen in the real world. You're going to get your feelings hurt. You need to develop the coping skills. And a lot of children today, even a lot of adults today, can't handle it. I was playing a card game with a kid, and y'all, I am competitive. I know that, okay? I know that flaw about myself, that I am competitive. But I feel as though this is how my grandfather taught me. If you can dish it out, you got to be able to take it back, okay? So I gave it out in a nice way, because he didn't want the other way, but the nice way. And I mean, like, no coping skills at all. And I'm just like, oh, okay. This not a real card game then. I'm sorry. So I apologize again. All right, next. Poverty. Poverty. And that's not just financial poverty, okay? Definitely financial poverty, because if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, where's your hope? Depression is literally living without hope. That's what it is. So if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, if you don't have a roof over your head, if you are spiritually bankrupt, you are living in poverty. If you are working 1,000,001 jobs and you still can't make ends meet, you're living in poverty, and that takes its toll on the psyche. Emotional conditions. chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances. You know, I give a talk, and in fact, in Dallas, I'm going to be giving this talk about how your emotions are housed in your organs. And when we are not eating the right foods, when we are not drinking enough water, when we are not living in a toxic-free environment, then, or toxin-free, toxic-free, okay. My husband knows I'm terrible with that. When you're living in an environment that is not healthy for you, how about that? It takes its toll. So yeah, depression will seep in. Alcoholism, okay? Alcoholism affects your liver. Your liver houses anger. So if your liver is housing your anger, then guess what? You're gonna have a lot of issues with depression. Medicines, certain medicines will do it to you too. You know how you can, well, years ago, they never even had medicines on television, right? They didn't have it. You would never know what medicines you could get prescribed to you. You wouldn't even see it in a magazine. But now it's like every other commercial is about medicine. And it's 13 seconds of how it's going to save your life and 47 seconds about how it's going to kill you. You know, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm sorry. My husband just came home and my dog is just going a little crazy, so forgive. Okay, so those are things that really can work on your organs. And if your organs are dealing with so many toxins that now they're going into overload, then yeah, depression. Major life changes. We move, because, you know, we're a military family. So we move, gosh, every 3 to 5 years. And that can take its toll. I know my daughter is a beautiful introvert. And moving for her had its ups and definitely its downs. It was like maybe a week before we were ready to move, that's when she started getting good with the people that were there where we were living. Now it's time to uproot yourself and go someplace else and meet all new crap of people, right? Did I say crap? I meant crop. All new crop of people. Medical problems, nutritional or nutrition deficiencies. Ooh, we're going to talk tonight about a vitamin that's really not a vitamin, where when we're lacking it, depression is like creeping right there at our door. And certain people living in certain places are more prone to it than other people living in other places. Toxicity from metals. You know, what happened in Flint, Michigan is completely deplorable. Completely deplorable. And when I think about how they're still dealing with the ramifications of their water system and the ramifications of all of that lead in their system, it's no wonder that the depression rates are growing. It's no wonder that a lot of other related issues, because depression is not a disease or a condition that is by itself. It has friends, and those friends manifest themselves in different ways. So it's no wonder that all of that stuff is happening there. I'm pretty sure, even though it was found out in Flint, it's probably happening in a whole lot more places than Flint. So check your water supply. And then mold. Mold. Those mold spores, man. But again, we'll get into that later tonight. Either way, I just listed off over 15 different ways that if you're in these types of environments, if you're dealing with these types of issues, then yeah, it's more prevalent than if you're not, okay? But all of these stem from stress. Stress. We eat because of stress. We lose sleep because of stress. We oversleep because of stress. We work more because of stress. Like, all of these are rooted in stress. And we're going to talk about the 3 ways, the 3 factors that if you just implore these 3 principles, they could potentially save your life or the lives of those around you. So let's talk a little bit about what depression looks like. And please feel free, y'all, if y'all have questions, y'all can just chime in. Uh-oh, what just happened? Oh, hopefully you can still hear me. I'm gonna turn all the Wi-Fi off in my house because Wi-Fi is acting a little off. Let's see. Hopefully it'll reconnect in a moment. If you can hear me, I'm still here. I'm trying to turn off my Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, you can see and hear me. Awesome, yay! Good, 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 good. So I'm just gonna keep on going then. All right, thank you, Lisa. Praise you. And hey, Shirley, how are you? Hey, Hopkins, how are you? All right, so what does depression look like? It looks like oversleeping. You know, I remember when I was first pregnant, I thought that I was depressed because I was sleeping all the time. All the time. But apparently I was pregnant. So don't confuse being pregnant with being depressed. Although, again, remember I said it has friends. Depression has friends. So you want to be very mindful of what your body is trying to tell you. Because later on, I realized, again, I was sleeping and I was not pregnant when I was really going through my state of depression. But fatigue, if you're tired all the time, you've gone and you've slept and slept and slept and you wake up and you're still tired, yeah, again, that will kick in. Persistent sadness. I watched, hey Trish, how you doing? I watched this movie, and I can't even remember the name of the movie, but it had joy and sadness, and it was about this little girl, and she had all of these emotions in her head, and all of the emotions were playing out and caused her to do whatever it was that she was doing. And I remember I wanted to just be with joy so much. Like, I loved joy. I loved being around joy. But then I could relate to sadness. Sadness was this character. She was blue. You can look her up, Google her. She was blue, and she was just downtrodden all the time. And because she was downtrodden all the time, she made poor decisions. And because she made these poor decisions, people kind of didn't want to be around her. And that is almost how depression feels, in a sense, where you want to do the right thing. You want to do those things that will uplift you, but it's like trying to lift yourself out of a pit when the walls are so slippery and you can't climb out of it yourself. It's hard. It's hard. So yes, persistent sadness will definitely do that. Irritability. If you're irritable all the time, that's a symptom. Weight changes. If you are drastically losing weight or gaining weight, that could be another symptom. So these are just some of the symptoms. And even one that kind of got me was persistent headaches. You know, I didn't realize how much depression it's not localized. It affects your entire body. So I would get horrible migraines to the point where I was taking like 1,600 milligrams of NSAIDs like every 4 to 6 hours. That's bad. You know, the military gives you like these 800 milligram pills, and I was popping 2 of them like nothing, and it was not even touching my headache. So yes, it affects from head to toe. Changes in appetite and many more. So if y'all have questions about this, please feel free to post your questions right here. But also, we're going to be having a webinar. So it's going to be a Depression On webinar tonight, 8 p.m. It's free. You know, I love to bring these webinars to you free as much as I possibly can. Now, they're not all going to be free, but for the most part, as much as I can bring to you these webinars free, I will do so. But we're having one tonight, 8 p.m., so please take full advantage of it. You can ask your questions. You can find out the fullness of what we're talking about today in that webinar. So the link here, I'll post the link again, just in case you can't see it above. Trying to make sure that I got y'all. So depression webinar. It's like trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm not that talented. Okay, so the next thing is, you know, when you're thinking about what does depression look like, most times people are not going to come out and say, hey, I'm depressed. They're just not. You know, and even if they're dealing with all of these issues and more that I'll be sharing tonight, you'll probably never know they're depressed. When I was going through my depression, I was going to church every day, and people would say, hey, how things going? Girl, they're fine. Thank you so much for asking. I would put the mask on every Sunday, every Wednesday. I put the mask on every single time I left my house. Nobody except the people in my house knew that I was dealing with this. So be mindful. If somebody is short with you, if somebody is cutting you off on the road, be mindful. Because I love that saying, you know, people are going through battles you will never know about. So you never know what people are going through. Extend grace. Because the grace that you extend somebody else could be the very thing that saves their life that day. It could be the very thing that turns them around. And it's true. So lastly, I'm gonna get off here soon, but I wanna give you this statistic, okay? And this is probably one of the main statistics on why you really need to come back tonight and hear this webinar. 3 out of 12 people, 3 out of 12, live with depression. Those are only the people that actually acknowledge it, okay? So these aren't the people that don't say anything, so they can't actually capture that statistic, okay? These are the people that actually say something. But only one, so we have 3 out of 12, okay? So out of those 3, only one gets the help that they need. That's scary. Only one. And it could be for a variety of reasons. It could be for the stigma of being depressed. You know, when we have illness from here down, it's cool. When we have illness from here up, it's like, oh, that's taboo. Let's not talk about that. Something's wrong with you. Let's go put you on some meds real quick. So only 1 out of 3 gets help. There are 1 million suicides annually. 1 million worldwide. 40,000 of them are from the US alone. I know so many people who have children that have committed suicide. You just go look on the news. You don't even have to go to the news. Just scroll through your Facebook feed. You have, you know, teenagers, and then 10, young as 7 years old, committing suicide. I saw a little boy that looked very much like my child, same age, who committed suicide because he was being bullied. Y'all, this thing is serious. Don't think it's not serious, because it really is. We need to be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for our children, for our parents, because yeah, the elderly, it affects as well. Loneliness. Check in. Don't just, you know, if you take your loved ones, your senior family members, and they are living in a nursing home, please visit them. Please visit them. If you have children and you're just so busy that you're not in their face when they're talking to you and you're looking them in their eye to see, hey, something's not right. And that's why when my clients, even when I do a 30-minute consult with someone, just initial consult, I don't like doing them over the phone. The phone is the absolute last resort, okay? I always want to do it face to face. And if I can't get you face to face, I'll do it via Zoom or with some sort of video conferencing. And the reason I do that is because I want to see your face. I want to see if you're lying to me. I want to see if you're lying to yourself. It's just that important. So y'all, tonight is going to be serious, and I encourage you, go click on the link, register, because even if you can't make it tonight at 8 o'clock, you get the replay. So even if you can't make it tonight, you will get the replay. So please register for you, register for a friend, put it on your Facebook page, share it with whomever you feel as though you need to share it with. But this is really important information. So I thank y'all so much for tuning in as always. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa, I didn't even see that. You said sometimes we hide it from the people we live with also. You are so right. You are so right, because I'm going to share that tonight on how I was hiding it, but it got to the point where I couldn't even hide it anymore. So yeah, definitely you are right there, Lisa. So tonight, 8 p.m., it's going to be on Zoom. It's going to be good. Of course, I always got goodies. So make sure you click on that link and you register for this evening. I am Sakina Bunch, your relationship health and wellness coach. If you're not on my email newsletter list, please, please, please go to cleangoodeats.com, type in your email there, and you will be able to get on our email list. I look forward to seeing you all this evening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.